the development in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. We now have joining us via Zoom at this moment Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu. He is a governance and international affairs analyst. Welcome to the News Hour, Doctor. What do you make of the position of the military junta currently on leaving ECOWAS?
Well, thank you very much for having me. As far as I'm concerned, it's about people fighting for the ideas that they believe in. ECOWAS is fighting for the restoration of constitutional order, as they said, and the junta is looking for a soft landing based on what they perceive to be their interest and the interest of their nation. We shouldn't forget the fact that the countries we're talking about are not just mere states or regions that are bordering ECOWAS nations. They are sovereign nations that have the capacity to say enough is enough. We don't want to belong to any association or any group that we feel is a drag on our agenda for our people. And we shouldn't forget the fact that at a point in time, Nigeria was ruled by the military junta when we were in crisis, so that we're able to sort out ourselves. Even the constitution that we're talking about today, the foundation of the democracy we're talking about today was led by the military. The 1999 constitution was the handwork of the military. So that when we're talking about these issues, nothing is cast in stone. We're talking about people and nations that are dynamic, people that are about their interests, and they're all out for their interest.
Doctor, do you think this is setting the stage for a rival union within the regional bloc and the region by extension?
You see, we continue to warn. ECOWAS is an association. ECOWAS is not a sovereign nation. Any nation can decide to withdraw its membership when they feel their interest is no longer taken care of. And if you read the statement of the juntas carefully, the statement is an affirmation as well as a recalibration of Pan-Africanism and the spirit of Pan-Africanism. So such a statement will strike a chord with many segments of the society, especially people and nations that want to break away from neocolonialism. Now, ECOWAS must tread carefully because it is in a very dicey situation. The juntas are saying that they are fighting the former colonial master, which is France. And then whatever the ECOWAS sub-region is doing as a bloc to say that they want to restore constitutional order will be seen and interpreted by the people of this country and then the juntas as a way of leading them back to neocolonialism. And that is exactly what their message is all about. That the ECOWAS that they knew has derailed from the founding fathers' ideals that guided the formation of ECOWAS, which is bringing the ECOWAS sub-region closer and then ensuring that all the vestiges of colonialism and neocolonialism are uprooted from the soils of Africa. And then you have a situation, a very dicey one. ECOWAS is saying that they must restore democracy. And then the junta and the people are saying this democracy is not servicing our interests. It's servicing the interests of our former colonial master, and we have to do away with it. And by the time you come back to say that they have to go back to democracy, it's as if you are asking them to relinquish power and then return their countries to the hands of their former colonial master, which is France.
Indeed, Dr. Hamisu, indeed. So would you say the bold step that these nations, the military administrations in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have taken so far would sort of create, awaken the zeal among other nations and perhaps their military and its people to support such uprising? Because, I mean, you remember that the media was awash with videos of citizens of these countries who were openly celebrating on the streets when their democratic government were taken over. So would you call this a strategic position to awaken the spirit among other African nations as at this time?
Of course, it's about strategy. It's about strategy. It's about power. It's about what you want to do with power. Now, we have a democracy. For instance, in Nigeria, that has not been working, that has not been servicing the interests of the people. For the first time in the history of this country, under democratic government, we became the poverty capital of the world. Insecurity is really taking a toll on the economy and the lives of the people. The middle belt that used to feed the nation has become an enclave of war between the others and the farmers. So wherever you go to in Nigeria, is a democracy that is in crisis. Most of these countries are witnessing the same thing. And then the military struck, and the people are celebrating. And then we are saying that they must return to a constitutional order. The question is it the form of government that matters or the welfare of a people under a government? Who says that it is only democracy that will give people development? We have one party state in China, and today the Chinese are ruling the world. We are all running to China to beg for aid, and we never rejected their aid. Then what gave them development, we now say they should relinquish it. We have Rwanda. When Kagame started, he was the darling of the West, and they were praising him. After a while, he realized that multi-party democracy was not going to take his country anywhere, and he decided to do what he needed to do. And today, Rwanda has overtaken Nigeria in terms of all the indices of development. Now, coming to the question you posed, any sensible person, any right-thinking person that is patriotic, that wants the best for its people, will support the position of the juntas that have come together to say, look, this particular ECOWAS is not servicing our interests. It has been turned into the tool of our former colonial masters to inflict injuries on our people, and we will not take that. And because of that, we are pulling out of ECOWAS. And if ECOWAS is not taken, a lot of member states will leave ECOWAS because it is about strategic positioning. Now, they did this so that they can be able to effectively engage with ECOWAS to ensure that nothing is.
Okay, Doctor, bearing in mind that some political theorists at this moment have begun postulating and also predicting that democracy, or at least the rendition of democracy being practiced, in the West and other Western parts of the world, is failing in one way or another. Bearing in mind, would it be a bold standpoint to say at this point that with the move of these three nations at this time, that negotiations would definitely close?
No. I think they did it with an open mind to ensure that there is negotiation. Now, the joke is on ECOWAS. ECOWAS is set up by these three countries for evaluation. And the world is evaluating ECOWAS because they are accusing ECOWAS of derailing from the ideas of the founding fathers. Now, it is only for ECOWAS to say, no, that is not what we are doing, and let them give assurances. If they cannot do that, then the world will understand the fact that actually ECOWAS has become a tool of recolonization instead of a tool for liberation and common good of the people of Africa. So the joke is on ECOWAS and the leadership of ECOWAS.
Dr. Abdurrahman Abu Hamisu, Governance and International Affairs Analyst, thank you so much for your contributions and perspectives on the News Hour. Have a good evening.